What we've done in our book is look at different countries, comparing how equal or unequal they are. We measure the scale of income differences between countries, whether the big differences between rich and poor or smaller differences. And we find a very consistent pattern that countries with bigger income differences have worse health and more of almost every social problem you can imagine. And we look at levels of violence, we look at mental illness, we look at teenage birth rates, we look at the proportion of the population in prison, we look at obesity, a great range of problems like that. And we find that all more common in more unequal countries and consistently related to the level of inequality. One of the interesting things is that the differences are very big. So on mental health, you find that mental illness is 3 times as common in a country like the United States compared to the more equal countries like Norway, Sweden, Japan. But if you take measures of the proportion of the population in prison, or violence, or teenage birth rates, 6, 8, 10 times as common in more unequal countries. And that's because these differences in inequality don't just affect the poor. It's not just about the bottom of society. Almost all of us, all the way up, even well-off people with good education, are affected by inequality. So that, you know, whatever your level of income and education or your social class, you would do a bit better if you lived in a more equal society. You'd be likely to live a bit longer. You'd be less likely to become a victim of violence. Your children probably would do a little bit better at school. They'd be less likely to become teenage parents or to get involved in drugs. So what we're really talking about is how inequality damages the social, if you like, the social quality of life for all of us. I think that's the really fundamental issue that our book is about.